prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this afternoon, NUT calls for employment of more teachers in Rivers State as World marks Teachers' Day. Benue State Commissioner for Information regains freedom after 10 days in captivity. PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to address press on President Tinubu's academic records. Naira rated as one of Africa's worst performing currencies. On the foreign scene, Australia offers $17 million payout to Indonesian kids jailed as adults. I am Constance Mega. As the world marks Teachers' Day today, teachers in Rivers State are calling for the employment of more people. Well, the state chairman of the National Union of Teachers, Collins Ichikbu, made the call while speaking with correspondent Martha Okerenkem. Mr. Ichikbu said the shortage of teachers in the state is affecting their work. As you may know, the chairman of the Civil Service Commission, Clifford Walter, said in September that out of the 10,000 applicants in the ongoing recruitment exercise, 2,000 slots were given to the state primary and post-primary school boards. But the NUT state chairman says this won't be enough.
We have shortage of teachers. If you go to the villages, you see that there are no teachers in the classrooms. The classrooms are empty. The 2,000 they gave us, you can imagine 1,000 teachers in UBE. UBE comprises of junior secondary schools and primary schools in the state, 1,000. Where will it go to? And then around 1,000 goes to senior secondary schools board, that is SSS. Where will it go? You can imagine in Port Harcourt alone, how many schools do we have in Port Harcourt before you talk about the other local government areas. So there are shortage of teachers everywhere in the state. We need more teachers.
Mr. Ichikbu also asked the state government to implement the law extending the retirement age and service period for teachers by 5 years. And he also asked the state government to provide funds for head teachers and principals of public schools.
If you want a good thing, of course, you know that you need to spend money to get that good thing. We need motivation from the government to enable the teachers to put their best. There are other things we're expecting. One, the additional 5 years that was given to teachers that was passed into law. Other states have been implemented, the River State has not been implemented. And other things like the problem of health teachers and the parents give impress to principals and head teachers to enable them to run the school effectively. We know that government, we are running a free education system. But at least the principals and HMs, we are begging that they should be given a stipend to also help them to run the school.
Well, the state's NUT chairman also stressed the need for teachers to be diligent and serve as role models for their students.
I want them to be more loyal and then do their duty diligently and they make sure that they should do it in a passion. They know that we are more character molders so that the government can see us the more. They should make sure they go to school and teach the children because they were taught before they become teachers. That is my advice for the teachers.
Well, October 5 every year is set aside to celebrate the resilience of teachers all around the world. The Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria says it has only 2.3 million registered teachers on its database as of 2023. While some of them are in public schools, others are in private schools, where Nigerian teachers are reckoned to be poorly paid, and many teachers in private schools do not earn the country's minimum wage of 30,000 naira monthly. While the teachers in the public schools continue to ask for not just better pay, but basic school supplies to aid their teaching skills, especially in Rivers State, where a free education policy is in place. Well, at the start of the current administration, it was top on the needs of the public and private school teachers in Port Harcourt, who spoke to our correspondent.
The national curriculum needs to be updated, the syllabus, because we're using outdated curriculum. The government of the day could look into this, teachers' welfare and other infrastructural developments, to see that the school will be a better place and society at large.
If government will look into every sector, especially from the secondary schools, it will go a long way towards bringing about an end to those miscreants who have that are called ended, unknown gunmen and whatever.
The salary of the teachers, they said they removed the subsidy, and now prices of commodities in the market is so high now, but minimum wage is still where it is. So I'm expecting him to increase the salary of the teachers.
Well, they also called for a look into the payroll system, among other issues.
Expecting the government of Rivers State to ensure that the private sector, especially the schools and other establishments, looks into it in terms of financial pay, our payroll system, also in terms of roads, infrastructural facilities leading to schools and other places.
The government should find a way to address the issues in state schools, the public state schools. We have these issues of casteism everywhere. They should find a way to curb this attitude in the hearts of our teenagers. Bullying in school, I think bullying contributes to why some students join these organizations too. If government should pay attention to these things, ensure that teachers are up and doing in schools.
The past administration did well in infrastructure. My expectation is for him to look into aspect of employment.
Well, in August, teachers of the Rivers State University Demonstration School renewed calls on the state government for reinstatement and payment of their outstanding 7-year salary arrears. Recall that former Governor Nyesom Wike in February 2016 ordered that the salaries of the teachers be removed from the payroll of the university. Well, one of the teachers, in an interview with correspondent Emeko Toka, said they lost 3 of their staff due to hardship and life has not been easy with the rest of them. Well, he said some of them have been evicted from their homes and their children out of school.
All we are trying to do is just to appeal to His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, to please look at these issues. We have lost lives. Teachers, as I speak with you, we've just lost 3 persons. We are due to terrible pain. Lost accommodation, you can't pay accommodation, you can't pay hospital bill, you can't even take care of our children. Our children are out of school, and we are just employed like every other staff of the university. This is 8 years counting. We can't even attend to family needs and responsibilities as head of a home.
He, however, appealed to Governor Siminalayi Fubara to help the affected teachers.
We have so much faith, and we believe that the government of today, maybe before his 100 days in office, will remember us. He is a civil servant, and we believe that he has our pains at heart. And we are looking up to the day that he will make that announcement to say that he has reversed these teachers back to their job, and also looking for to our arrears. We are so much indebted, and when I say we are going through pain, it is an understatement. We are going through agony, serious troubles and worries, sometimes sleepless nights.
100 days is long gone, and it is not clear if this has happened for them. Well, the theme for this year's World Teachers' Day is the teachers we need for the education we want, the global imperative to reverse the teacher shortage. In the meantime, the Director General of the National Teachers Institute, NTI, Professor Musa Meitafsir, says it plans to introduce a mandatory 1-year teacher internship program by January 2024. Professor Musa disclosed this today in Abuja when he addressed newsmen to mark the 2023 World Teachers' Day. Well, the NTI DG said the internship is a mandatory program expected to last for 1 year for the holders of NCE, BEd, PGDE, MEd and PhD in the education sector. Moving on now, the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, is expected to address a press conference today on the issue of President Bola Tinubu's academic records released by the Chicago State University, CSU. In a statement by the acting chairman of the PDP Board of Trustees, Adolphus Wabara, the event will be held at the Yaradua Center this afternoon. Well, yesterday, the presidency maintained that the academic records released by Chicago State University vindicated President Bola Tinubu and confirmed him as an alumnus of the school. Benue State Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Matthew Abo, has been freed after 10 days in captivity. Mr. Abo regained his freedom today. Governor Hyacinth Alia said no ransom was paid for the commissioner's release. We'll recall that the kidnappers had demanded 60 million naira before his release. But the Benue State Commissioner for Information was abducted from his residence in Zakibiam on Sunday, 24th September 2023 by armed men. The Supreme Court has fixed 15th of December 2023 to deliver its judgment on the appeal that is seeking to compel the federal government to release IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu from detention. A 5-member panel of the Apex Court, headed by Justice Kudirat Kekereku, okayed the matter for judgment after counsel for both federal government and the detained IPOB leader adopted their final briefs of argument. Recall that the Court of Appeal in Abuja had, in a judgment delivered on 13th October 2022, ordered Kanu's release from detention. Still to come, Naira rated as one of Africa's worst performing currencies. Stay tuned. Service says it has cleared over 200 passport application backlogs. Recall that the federal government had given the Immigration Service a 2-week deadline on 7th September. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunjiojo, during a media chat in Abuja on Wednesday, said the backlogs were cleared on 1st of October. Mr. Tunjiojo said his ministry is working to ensure that applicants will not have to wait beyond 2 weeks to get their passports.
By December, by the grace of God, people will not need to go to passport offices and they are snapping you in passport office. People will be able to upload their passport photographs online with specification that will save time when people go to passport offices. Your supporting documents should be uploaded online. When you go to passport office, it will just be for the purpose of biometric. So within 5 minutes, you're out of the passport office.
In business, the Nigerian Naira has been rated among the worst performing currencies in Africa. In the rating, the World Bank said the currency weakened by nearly 40% against the US dollar since a mid-June devaluation. The World Bank says the weakening of the Naira was triggered by the central bank's decision to remove trading restrictions on the official market. In entertainment, Hollywood actor Julia Ormond has filed a lawsuit against Harvey Weinstein, claiming he sexually assaulted her in 1995 after a dinner in New York. Ormond is also seeking damages from Disney, Miramax, and her former talent agency, whom she says failed to protect her from abuse. Well, Weinstein is currently serving a 23-year prison sentence for rape. In sports, FIFA has appointed Portuguese official Luis Godinho as referee for the international friendly match between Nigeria and Asian giants Saudi Arabia coming up at the Estadio Municipal de Portimao next week, Friday.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Australia is offering $17 million to more than 120 Indonesians who were wrongly jailed as adults when in fact they were children. The children were jailed and in some cases prosecuted as people smugglers. At the time of their detention, some of the children were as young as 12. And that's the news this afternoon. But before we go, let's take a look at the highlights of the major stories. Well, you heard that the NUT has called for employment of more teachers in Rivers State as the world marks Teachers' Day today. Benue State Commissioner for Information.
Nigeria Info will be right back.
Apologies for that. Benue State Commissioner for Information has regained his freedom after 10 days in captivity. The PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar is expected to address the press on President Tinubu's academic records saga. The Naira has been rated as one of Africa's worst performing currencies. And on the foreign scene, you heard that Australia has offered $17 million payout to Indonesian kids who were jailed as adults. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. Mostly cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this afternoon. And to reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. Remember, peace is the path to prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I'm Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good afternoon.